Yeah.
We are doing two thrift flips. Basically, it's clothes I've always had for years, and I just decided to revamp them. The first one is this orange cardigan that I had since I was in 6th grade. My first memory of it was this guy going up to me randomly and telling me I looked terrible in orange. So the most rational thing to do was to keep wearing it. So I did. I wore it all throughout middle school. Is the cream in the crop. It was my go-to cardigan, and I wore uniforms, so that was the only individuality I could wear. And then I just kind of threw it in the back of my closet. So I decided to make 3 pieces out of it. So I made a cropped cardigan, a tube top, and a headband. And the second piece that I decided to do was basically this thrift flip right here, but in a different font. The red velvet thrift flip is honestly my favorite thrift flip ever. So I always told myself I wanted to do a pink, black, and white one, and I found out the pink one. So my sister gave me her t-shirt dress velvet thing, and I don't really like t-shirt dresses, so I decided to put the fabric to use, and it's like a crushed pink velvet, which I absolutely love, and it stands out so much, so you know. So I basically just made crop top with tight straps, and then a skirt with side slits, and I really like that version kind of better, so let's just get into it. Alright, starting off with the orange cardigan, we are measuring just how short we will crop it. I wanted my cardigan to be about 14 inches long, so I just placed pins straight across. Now we cut. Always remember to take your time at this part because cutting is the most crucial step. Once I finish cutting, you now have your cropped cardigan. That's pretty much it. Also, this is optional, but you can add any additional buttons on the top. I decided not to because I'm not planning on buttoning up my cardigan anyways. The last step is to just sew the seams like this. I used a zigzag stitch for this one since the fabric is stretchy, and now you're done with that. Now onto the crop top. I'm gonna flip the fabric upside down because I want the thick band to be the top of my crop top. The buttons will be on the back of my shirt, so let's flip that. And make sure to put this fabric inside out where the buttons are facing the inside. Now the pins. The top band area is 11 inches, and this 11 inches is consistent at the top of the band too. The bottom is 9 inches, and the midsection is 10 inches. You connect the dot to the marker or these pins, and now you just sew along the 2 lines you've just created. It should come out looking like this. Now we cut off the wings and flip it outside in. This is the front and back. You know those wings we just cut off? That's going to be the fabric for our headband. As you can see, each piece isn't long enough for the end, so we will sew them together to make one long strip of fabric. You just fold both ends and connect them together. We do that by overlapping the ugly side of the fabric together. Once you make sure the ugly side of the fabric is facing you, you sew a line across the top to connect the 2 pieces, like so. I pinned one side already, but to get that, all we do is fold the top and bottom of the fabric, then sandwich those 2 pieces together, then we pin that in place. It's not looking so good since I'm only using one hand, but hopefully you get the idea. I'm sorry if I'm being delirious. I'm literally doing all this sewing at 12:30 at night, and my mind is shambling to pieces. Alright, on to the sewing machine. I'm only focusing the stitching on the very edge of the fabric where we sandwich the pieces together so it can create a nice seam to it. Also, I didn't mention this yet, but I didn't sew the ends together. You can place the headband on your head and tie the ends together with an elastic so you can adjust just how tight or loose you want it like that. Once done, your 3-piece set is now complete. Now onto the velvet t-shirt dress. We always want to start the dress inside out first hand. If you want to know the fabric, it's 95% polyester and 5% elastane. Alright, time to pin. I wanted my skirt to be 15 inches all across, so I just measured from the bottom up on my dress. Now, time for the surgery. I always cut above the pins. I leave a little extra room for insurance since you never know what could happen. Once the separation has been completed, we now add more pins. The top area, also known as the waist area, is 13 inches. The middle area, or the bum area, is about 18 inches. And in between the waist and bum is 15 inches. Now we just sew the sides where it would eventually trail off to the pre-existing seams that the t-shirt dress had. Also, I placed pins for where my side slits are going to be, just for reference, but we will worry about that later. All we gotta do right now is sew along the lines we just created from the pins, like so. Definitely take your time here since we are creating a slightly curved line using a zigzag stitch. As you can see, I'm gradually increasing the curve so the thread can trail off to the edge. Now, I think this was definitely a success, and we gotta cut off the little wings like so. I decided not to sew the seams at the top since this type of fabric doesn't fray and the edges naturally curl in anyways. For the wings, this is completely optional, but I left a little fabric so I can sew the seams there just to make it a little more neat. So I just pin it all down, ignore the waist pins. And I don't know what it was, but my sewing machine was acting up during this part. It just wouldn't take the fabric that well, and when I stopped to turn over the fabric, there was literal troll hair. I definitely couldn't keep it like that, so I tried again. Look at me giving myself a thumbs up like a complete dumbass. Cause guess what? The troll hair came back to haunt me. At this point, I got a little frustrated because I was wasting the very little amount of pink thread I had. So I gave it one last chance, thinking like an idiot that third luck's the charm because, oh, the villagers came out to play and they are here to stay. So I gave up and this was all the wasted thread. Defeated and slightly annoyed, I went back to my roots and hand stitched the rest using this method right here. As you can see, it's not the best, but it's honest work. Now it's time to focus on the slits. I made my slits 4 inches deep and I just got a seam ripper and started ripping away. Once you ripped about 4 inches worth, tie this surviving thread together and stitch the seam to the 2 flaps you just created. My sewing machine was being a brat still, so I hand stitched the slits as well. And it came out looking kind of decent. Once you've done both slits, your skirt is now complete. Now onto the top. We are of course working inside out, and I just measured my top to be about 9 inches. The top being 12 inches, the middle is 11 inches, and the bottom is 10 inches. Now we cut a nice little square. We sew along the sides of that shirt using a zigzag stitch. You can cut off the wings for this one, but I didn't since the excess fabric wasn't bulky at all. I flip it inside out and now you got the crop top. But we still need the straps, so we got a lot of fabric left over for that. The straps are really easy. I just cut 4 strips of fabric with whatever length you want. My straps are all different lengths because who needs consistency? Now I have 2 straps that are taken from the seams of the short sleeves. And I have 2 straps from regular fabric to have some variety. For the straps with the pre-made seams, I just rolled it twice and pinned along the edges like so. Now for regular fabric strips, I'll be folding the fabric 3 times. Top, bottom, then middle. This is kind of like the headband I made earlier. We, of course, pin along the edge of that strip as well, like so. And now we sew all the straps on the very edge where you folded the seams together. And the straps are complete. Now time for the attachment surgery. I recommend putting on the top and pinning where you want the straps, like this, and secure it extra well with 2 pins instead of 1. Once you're confident in your placement, I just hand sew the straps in place. And now your set is complete. Here are the final results. I'm so happy how the cardigan 3-piece came out. I think all the matching colors look so good together. I left one button on the cardigan so I can easily make it kind of like a tied top. What do you think? Yeah or nah? Also, I think the crop top with the headband looks just as cute, especially for the heat. The buttons in the back add something extra and it makes it really easy to get in and out of the top. And since I didn't sew the seams here, you can just tug any unevenness. And there you have it. Let me know what you think of this cardigan set. Alright, I'ma flat out say it that I would die for this set. In love, a classic, impeccable, honestly, truly. I am so happy I made a second velvet set, but this version is 2.0 right here. The tight straps and side slits was a chess move. I feel like my brain gained several IQ points. When I'm 90 and in a casket, this is the outfit I want to be buried in to remind everyone I was that bitch one last time. 10 out of 10 recommend. You cannot debate me on this. And before we finish, here are some one last words from your #1 sponsor. Hello, this is me. I just wanted to really quickly thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really liked both these pieces. See you in my next video.